Welcome back, entrepreneurs and small business owners. Want to know how to gain confidence in public speaking and platform sales? You're in the right place, because today I've got 8 tips for you that are going to help you build massive amounts of confidence in your speaking. I'm Amy Walker, Client Acquisition Specialist, and I help clients create consistent, predictable sales through organic marketing and scalable sales strategies. So thank you for joining me for today's Sales Doc video, where we are diagnosing your sales woes so that your sales can be sick in a good way. Speaking is truly one of my favorite sales strategies. It is probably the fastest converting, because you can create in 1 hour the amount of trust that it takes to create and generate in weeks of online marketing. So in the space of one talk, you can get people to the point where they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they're ready to buy from you. So frankly, this is a really great strategy that scares a lot of people.
Fear of public speaking.
So I have got 8 different tips for you. But before we jump into solutions, it's essential that we get to the root of the fear. So here are some common fears that I see with clients. Maybe yours is on the list, maybe it's a variation, or maybe it's just completely new. But why are you afraid of speaking? Is it because you don't want to mess up and look stupid in front of others? Is it because you don't want to screw up and then you lose the sales and you need those sales? Maybe you don't feel like enough of an expert to be speaking to others. Can anyone say imposter syndrome? Maybe that you're worried people won't like you. Maybe you've always had stage fright and the fear of speaking isn't rational. It's like a physical response. It happens in the body more than it happens inside of the mind. No matter the root of the fear, these different exercises will help build your confidence. However, I really suggest that as you do them, you be really intentional with what your root fear is, because it's going to make a much bigger impact. So I'll share with you at the end the one thing that everybody can do, no matter the source of your root fear, the one thing you can do that is going to help you just massively grow your confidence, whether you're brand new or seasoned. So make sure you stick with me until the end. And subscribe to the channel. I am so excited that you're here, but I want you to come back again and again to get all the business training you need. So subscribe, hit the bell notification, and if you want to do me a favor, hit the like button so that the YouTube algorithm will let more people see this video. Let's jump right in and get started. So 8 different tips. Number 1 is that I want you to actually have a presentation template that you use that was written by somebody who teaches platform sales. Here's why this matters so much. I've had clients who give great presentations. They're dynamic up on stage, they're comfortable being there, but they can't sell and they can't convert.
Yeah, I haven't sold anything today, nothing.
And when they share their presentation with me, I look at it, I'm like, why didn't you use the template? And they're like, well, I just wanted to sound like me. And I'm like, I know, I want you to sound like you too. But also what you're doing, sounding like you, is you're not selling, you're educating, you're entertaining, you're motivating. You're doing something else. But if you'll use a template that is written to help you with sales conversions, you're gonna have that sales structure interwoven with your voice, your personality, and all the amazing things that you wanna bring to your audience. Okay, tip number 2 is that you need to get clear on what your speaking style is. Now, if you're new and scared, you might be like, Amy, I have no speaking style. You do, you just haven't discovered it yet.
It haven't even been discovered yet.
Now, maybe you'll see yourself in one of these. So you could be a motivational speaker where you move the room to tears and make them feel like, oh, I want to make changes in my life. You could be an informative speaker. You have so much information inside of your head, it starts to leak out onto random strangers if you don't have a format for sharing it. I happen to know somebody like that who looks at me in the mirror every day. But you could be a humorous speaker where you're super funny. And
You're so funny.
And you're basically a comedian who teaches people things. You could be one of those fired up speakers where you go into the room and the whole room is fired up for action. You could be an inspiring speaker where you are, maybe a little bit more, you're more story driven, but you inspire people to be better and to do better.
Wow, you are such an inspiration.
One of the problems why I think we scare ourselves when we step into public speaking is we have a speaker in our mind that we feel like we need to be like. So I want you to go and find a lot of different speakers. Watch them and see which ones you feel like they have your similar personality style. So for example, an Amy Porterfield has a really different speaking style than Les Brown, who has a very different speaking style than Tony Robbins. Whatever speaker you like to listen to, there are so many different speaking styles, and when you wrap your brain around who am I as a speaker, you're going to be able to seek out speakers like you and use that as a way to see your higher level of what speaking great and with confidence would look like in your lane. Tip number 3, join Toastmasters International. When I hired a speaking coach and he told me, and I'd been speaking for years, and the first thing he told me was I needed to go join Toastmasters, I was a little mad. I was like, I'm not a newbie, I'm not a beginner, and I'm too busy, I don't have time. But then he said this, and this was really a game changer for me. He said, Amy, if you get paid to go and speak in an organization, that better not be the first time that you have performed that speech. You need to practice. You need to workshop it. You need to see how people respond to different types of different parts of the speech before you go and give that. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So Toastmasters is a place where you get to practice giving your speeches and you get training on how to be a speaker. And it's very, very affordable. So if you're looking for a first step, it is a great first step. And if you've ever been a part of Toastmasters, comment below. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Tip number 4 is going to be kind of a build off of this. So in Toastmasters, you get short little segments to workshop pieces. Then I want you to actually find local places that you can speak for free, where you can actually go through and practice the entire presentation. It may not be your best ideal clients. It may not be exactly the right audience for you. Definitely, I don't want you speaking for free forever, but when you're getting ready to launch a new speech, you need to be able to test it out and make sure that things are landing the way that you want them to. Then you're going to be ready to take this presentation that's polished to your ideal audience. A big part of confidence is preparation. So do the work to walk into any room knowing that you are prepared to be there. Number 5 is going to be to visualize yourself giving that talk and step into the emotion that you want to feel. This is going to really tie back to that root cause of fear. If the root cause of fear is that people will not like you, then what you really need is to feel loved, supported, embraced, and welcomed.
And that way we will overcome our fear of public speaking.
So you're going to visualize yourself giving your speech, and it's like you're going through the speech in your mind. You're visualizing what you look like on stage, where you're walking, what your hands are doing. And at the same time, you're layering over it that emotion that you need to have. If you have imposter syndrome, and that's the root of it, is that you feel like you're not ready, you don't know enough, then you're going to visualize yourself feeling completely confident in the things that you know, feeling honest and transparent, that you're being completely yourself, and everyone is grateful for the contributions and experiences that you bring to the table. And so you visualize, again, going through the speech, but you layer that emotion over the top of it, and that will make a huge difference. Because just a generic visualization is good, but when you get to that root cause of why you have fear and you add in the positive emotion that you're seeking, then you are feeding that need for yourself, so you don't need it from the audience. When you go into an audience and you need validation from them, or you need love from them, or acceptance from them, it changes the dynamic of your speech. And I feel like people will pay you in money, or they'll pay you in sympathy. And when I go into a room to speak, I want clients, I want business. I want to be able to walk away and be like, I got paid for my time. I don't want to walk away and have everyone say, oh my gosh, that was so inspiring. We just loved you. We'd love to have you come back again, but nobody pays. So it's important that I feed the emotional need for myself, because I want to create an exchange with the audience. And I know this is getting a little bit like higher level thinking, but that exchange, money is just a currency. It's just an energetic exchange. So if their energetic exchange that they give me is all filling my emotional needs, then they have given to me. And then when I ask them to buy, sometimes they feel like this presentation was more about me than it was about them.
You know, it's not about me.
So they're not willing to buy and invest because they've been investing in filling my cup the entire time. Instead of me filling my cup first, me giving them what they need, and then at the end they feel like they want to invest more in themselves, and that's where the exchange comes back into play. So it's going to give you a much better energetic flow. Hopefully that all made sense. It makes perfect sense in my mind. Okay, 6 is practice, practice, practice. Practice in the mirror, practice in front of your friends, practice in front of your spouse, video record yourself, but practice and get to that point where it's really comfortable. I am at the point now where a lot of my presentations, I don't have to do much prep for them because I've been preparing for them for years. I've done my presentations in front of so many audiences that it's more just like looking over my notes and tweaking a couple things to create maximum relevancy for this group, but I don't feel like I need to practice as much as I did before, unless it's a new talk. But if it's a new talk, it's a new topic, I haven't done this before, then you better believe I'm going to be practicing. I'm going to be reading through my notes. I'm going to be sharing my stories to the audience of my mirror, my reflection. But I am going to be practicing to make sure that when I get in there to give that talk, I feel ready for it. Confidence does not come when you are underprepared. Tip number 7 is to do webinars, because you will have gaps in between your live speaking events, especially post-COVID. There's just not as many live in-person events that are bringing in speakers in the same way they were before. A lot of people have moved online, but you need to be speaking consistently. I don't want months to go by in between me speaking. I want to be speaking every single month, really consistently. And so webinars helps fill in the gaps, because the reality is I don't actually want to be traveling every single month. I don't want to be on airplanes all the time, but I do want to be speaking all the time. Webinars will help you fill in any gaps between your live events. Okay, I told you I was going to tell you the number one thing that I see increase confidence for speakers, and some of you are going to hate me after this, but don't worry, you'll get over it and we can go back to being friends. It's to do lots of video. Video builds your confidence. There's nothing worse than actually having to look at yourself and hear yourself and there's nobody else there, right? So you can't see the friendly person in line row that's smiling and nodding, or the one who's, taking notes. You get no feedback from the audience, and the only critic is you. And so it will help you to be able to work out all of the kinks in your message. The other thing that it does, which is just amazing, is it lets you test little bits of info and see what are people responding to? What are they liking? What are they interested in? And as you start to get that feedback once you put it out there, that helps you know where you want to go for your next level of content, or how do you want to form the speech, or this was a really hot topic, everybody loved it, maybe I should write a speech about that. So practice with video. It's going to make a huge difference in your confidence level. The other great thing that's going to do for you is get you a lot of visibility online. I've gotten booked to speak because people watch my YouTube videos before, so there's that as well. All right, now you know how to gain confidence in public speaking and platform sales for entrepreneurs, but do you have a comprehensive sales plan for your business? If not, the next video that I want you to watch is how to scale your sales. It's a 15-minute masterclass that's going to walk you through that process of being able to build out your sales strategy and your sales systems and everything you need to do to be able to grow consistently and predictably. Thanks so much for watching, and I cannot wait to have you back again soon. If you are looking for a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, come join us in our private Facebook group, Acquire. I would love to have you there, and I'll talk with you all soon.